I'm Carlin Borisenko. In early 2020, I was the knitting Democrat who accidentally went viral on the internet for going to a Trump rally and then left the party. I became the conservative darling, was on all the shows, traveled around the country, and then realized that conservatives were no better than Democrats. If there's one thing that I've learned, it's that both political tribes are two sides of the same coin. But it wasn't all bad. On my journey, I became obsessed with understanding the woke ideology and the culture war. I broke the story of the city of Seattle doing segregated training with its employees.
How bad has this stuff become? The city of Seattle has now put out, I'm not kidding you, this is according to Dr. Carolyn Borisenko, who's an organizational psychologist. The city of Seattle asked its white employees to voluntarily spend a day off in a training about their internalized racial superiority.
I broke the story that led to the first ever federal lawsuit against critical race theory in the schools. I broke the Coke Be Less White story, one of the biggest anti-woke stories of all time. It got over 30 million views. Coca-Cola's corporate headquarters even had to change their outgoing voicemail.
Throughout the past few days, you may have seen inaccurate reporting on the content of our recently launched diversity, equity, and inclusion training program.
I exposed the schools in Burlington, Vermont for grooming middle school children live on the internet. They called me an unwoke cult leader for that. And the Vermont Human Rights Commission slandered me publicly as being a hate channel. I even got called a hero in Breitbart for exposing that the Washington Post was writing a hit piece on Christopher Rufo. I have broken story after story after story about what's going on in the public schools, from Cambridge, Massachusetts, to autistic sex education, to the Department of Education in Michigan, literally training teachers all over the state how to groom children. I wrote a book called Actively Unwoke, the ultimate guide for fighting back against the woke insanity in your life. I host a podcast all about fighting back, and I'm downloading all of my knowledge to you on my Substack, carlin.substack.com. The world is a crazy place. We are literally surrounded by cults on all sides. On this show, we're going to do a deep dive into all aspects of the culture war, and I will show you the dark, dystopian underbellies on both sides. Here are the commitments I'll make to you. I will always tell you the truth. I will always bring you receipts. And if you stick with me, I promise you will see the world differently. Welcome to the cult. Please mount that like button for me and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Well, hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Well, we're not really doing the cult today. We're doing an episode of Nitwits because Mondays are my busy days. I basically am running from the moment I get out of bed until the moment that I go to bed. And so Mondays I try to do a little bit of like a lighter stream just because I really just don't have that much time to prepare for it on Mondays. And this is a good timing because I did want to debrief with people from this entire situation with Nick Fuentes and his band of morons from Cozy and like all this stuff, because it's been a little bit of a ridiculous week, and ridiculous in a way that like I didn't really expect when I started bantering with him on Twitter like several weeks ago. And I just kind of want to like, I've had a lot of questions about it. I've had a lot of people asking me about it. I just kind of want to put it to bed because some of the things that have transpired in the last week, like, listen, so for those who've been around a long time, I have this website called Art of the Trigger, where I talk about how you use psychology to trigger people. And I haven't really posted on it in a while, not because I don't want to, but just because I'm really busy. And like, it's a site I genuinely want to do. I used to do Art of the Trigger streams and stuff like that. They never quite did as well as some of my other streams. And so I kind of let that go and like said, I'll pick it back up again when I have time. But if there's anything that illustrates the art of the trigger, it's like what I've experienced and like what has happened around me in the last week from this whole kind of community. Listen, I truly had no idea. I really had no idea about this whole kind of like Nick Fuentes adjacent cozy subculture thing that's like Nick's friends who stream on Cozy and who they are. I had no idea who these people were like a week ago. I've learned a lot in the past week, and I just kind of want to like talk about what I've learned and debrief on it and then put it behind me because I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. Leonard says, I hope this isn't going to be a bitch fest. I hate those. Well, Leonard, that's what Nitwits is. And so if you're expecting a non-drama stream today, I really do hate to disappoint, but that's what Nitwits is, guys. Nitwits is where I bring the drama. It's where I bring the bitchiness. Now, it's not my intention to be like uber bitchy right now, to be honest, because again, like, I've just been like running around since I got up this morning. Like, I'm not actually like in a really bitchy mood, but there might be some bitchiness in the course of this stream. And if you don't want the bitchiness, then this isn't the stream for you. Go back, watch some of my other content. You know, we always have to take responsibility for what content we click on and what content we don't click on, you know? So, where do I even want to begin? Let's, I suppose, back up. I don't say anything on the internet that I don't mean, right? I don't do this thing where like I'm kissing the asses of certain people. If I think that you're right, you're right. Or if I think that you're right, I will say that I think you're right. And I think if you're wrong, then I will say that I think you're wrong. And whatever comes of that may. And it is what it is. I'm gonna keep it real. Like I've always said that my number one goal with all of this is to live an authentic experience, to illustrate an authentic human experience. And I think that one of the things that maybe has caused a lot of like the well, I wouldn't even say it's consternation. Like, I don't actually feel a tremendous amount of consternation about it, but like, I am a different type of streamer. I absolutely do not want to be a cozy streamer. That is not true. By the way, this is not Murphy's Pool. This is one of the cozy adjacent people. Here's what I've learned in the last week. We thought this was Murphy's Pool on Socialism Saturday. No. This is one of the trolls from that whole ecosystem. Because like one of the things I've learned is that, here, I'll just show you guys. There is a whole ecosystem of people that just live to talk about everything that Nick Fuentes and his friends and his enemies do and say, and like everything is documented online. And there are channels, and this isn't even one of the more popular. There are channels that all they do, literally, there are channels that are just built. They're like, do you guys know how I have these hater idiots on Twitter that they've kind of died off now? Thank God. But like, you guys know how I had this roving band of like unhinged lunatics that were like stalking everything that I did and tweeting about everything that I did and causing problems for me everywhere for like over 2 years. I had to deal with this problem and it was a goddamn nightmare. Well, Nick Fuentes has that on crack. I actually feel really bad for him. It's got to be like a really shitty thing to deal with, because I know like what it was. I know how shitty it was for me to deal with that, and what he's dealing with is so much more annoying than that. Yes, exactly. My haters came from the psychotic Carrie Smith, Chrissy Mayer crowd, and like I never understood them either. But like Nick Fuentes has his own Carrie Smith, Chrissy Mayer like bullshit audience that is like so much fucking worse. And they have these channels and these shows where all they do is talk about him and what his friends are doing and all this stuff. And now I've gotten like by proximity kind of like, yeah, we're gonna watch your look, they're already here. They're like waiting. They're like, everything I say in this stream is gonna end up on their channel later. Just use a nice picture of me, bro. That's all I ask. Just use a nice picture of me in the thumbnail. Don't make me look stupid. That's all I ask. But I had no idea any of this stuff existed. And when like this all started, I was like, this is just a playful Twitter thing. What could possibly go wrong? Well, let me tell you what. Like, apparently when Nick Fuentes banters with you on Twitter, you then get targeted by members of his streaming platform who are like scared to death that like you're going to take him away from them. Now, here's the thing, to be really clear to everyone. I have never even talked to Nick. And this is one of the things that's so bizarre to me about this entire situation is like once Nick kind of like said what he said on his show when that super chat came in, like from there on forward, it was like members of like Nick's orbit and Nick's community apparently thought that like I was gonna take, like maybe this was a subconscious thing, I don't even know, but they thought that like I was gonna take him away from them, and they all started coming at me, and they would like slide into my DMs, and they would be like, they would say things like, I had several people like slide into my DMs going, why don't you just back away slowly? And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I have never seen anything like this. And they all seem to think I had like this influence over him that was never real, because he and I have never actually spoken at all. I don't like, I guess like, you know, and so that was kind of like weird to me. It was like this just massive overreaction to something that was literally just like banter on Twitter for fun. Guys, people can banter on Twitter for fun, and that's all it has to be sometimes. And you know, I don't know why the big freak out. Anyway, so what happened is that we were bantering on Twitter. Nick said, and we're going to see the replay of it if people haven't seen it yet. Nick said nice things about me on his show. Nick's audience started haranguing him about it. They started coming at me. And then members like Nick's friends who stream on Cozy, this guy named Wurzelroot, like Wurzelroot decided to do a stream where he and we watched this on my channel. We watched it last week, where he basically called me a fat bitch for an hour and a half, and then sent his audience to raid my Socialism Saturday stream. And so here is where we start to have the problem, because like, you know, the one request that I made with that whole community when I kind of first started being friendly with him was like, just don't disrupt my stuff, man. Just don't disrupt my stuff. Listen, I don't mind sticking up for Nick when I think he is actually correct. Now, if I don't think he's correct, I'm not going to stick up for him. But like, I have a very long track record of like sticking up for people and saying, I think you're correct, if I legitimately think they're correct. And you can go back and like even some of the socialist stuff lately, like when the socialists are right, and I hate this, I hate it when it happens more than anything else. When the socialists are correct, I will say, okay, the socialists have a point, and this is why they have a point for reason X, Y, B, and Z. So this is not something that's just like exclusive to like Nick Fuentes. This is something that like I will literally do for everyone. So he was right initially. I don't necessarily think he's as right now, but like I did think his initial takes on Israel Palestine were good. They were solid. They were nuanced. Like it was some of the better commentary in the space. And so I said that. And when Andrew Klavan was shitting on him on Twitter, I was like, that's really not fair. And I fucking hate the Daily Wire. I hate them. I hate all of them. And so I was like, fuck you. Like, and so I just basically responded and to him and did this whole long thing about how it was stupid that he was picking on this 25-year-old and all this stuff. And then the Groypers retweeted his big old thing. And like, it could have just like been happy feelings from there on out. But that's not what happens when you apparently live in the land of like Groyper, right? And so all this stuff was happening. I felt pretty good about it. The one request that I made was like, just don't disrupt what I'm doing, because I'm not a traditional streamer for so many reasons. First of all, I never wanted to do this. I fell into this. This is just like, it was an accident that happened. It wasn't intentional at all. And then once I had this kind of like accidental platform, I thought, well, I'm going to try to do some good with it. And so my streams, and my long-term audience knows this, I'm trying to teach people stuff with my streams. I'm basically trying to do double duty on every single one. Every single one of my streams is like, except for Nitwits. Nitwits is, where I get to be bitchy, right? But normally my streams, and especially my Socialism Saturday streams, those are working streams. Like, I'm doing research, I'm trying to find clips that show what's going on. I'm also teaching an audience at the same time. It's kind of like I'm conducting a 2 to 3 to 4 hour class every single time I'm doing a stream, right? And so it's not like a lot of these streamers, and I'm not shitting on this, like, to each their own. I don't really care what other people do. I'm not like these other streamers that, like, I'm just streaming and playing video games and hanging out and shooting the shit and all that stuff. That's fine. I fully understand why some people want to do that. That's just not what I'm doing. It's never been what I've been doing. And so my stuff is a little bit different. So what happened is last Saturday, Nick's friend Wurzelroot, who streams on Cozy, basically did this stream where he called me a fat bitch for an hour, and then he sent people to raid my Socialism Saturday stream. Now, when the Groypers started showing up in my Socialism Saturday stream, and what they were doing is they were going, come talk to us, 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 come right now, come talk to us. What this is the equivalent of is if I was like teaching like a college class somewhere, and all of a sudden like a band of hooligans that I might know, but like I don't really know them well, but I might know them, they come in off the street and they start disrupting my college class going, come play with us, come play with us, come play with us, come play with us, come play with us. Well, no, like I don't mind talking to you and I don't mind playing with you, just not, this is not the appropriate time. And so when all that started on the Socialism Saturday stream, and people can go back and watch, I was super nice at first. I said, this is not the time for this. We're not doing this right now. Please stop. I asked them several times to stop. I eventually ended up getting pissed off. And I was like, fucking just block everyone. Like, I'm not going to deal with this shit. And it's like, I understand Yasmin saying it's called a raid. I know what it is because these guys have raided my streams before. I'm familiar with what it is, but it's one of those things that it's like, at that point, my perspective was basically to the effect of like, I have literally been nothing but nice to you guys. I've been nothing but nice to you. I actually put myself out there and went out on a limb to stick up for your guy. I've been nothing but respectful to you. Literally, all I'm telling you is just don't disrupt my work because this is my livelihood. This is what people pay me money for. Like, this is my livelihood. And so like if you're disrupting my work, that's where we're going to have a problem. And so once the Socialism Saturday stream was over, I really didn't know what had happened to cause that, because all I knew is that people were coming in my stream and being disruptive and being disrespectful, and I don't like that. And it had come after a week where I had taken, and I hadn't talked about this publicly, but I had taken a boat ton of private grief from people that I know, from contacts that I have. Why are you sticking up for Nick Fuentes? Why are you lining yourself for Nick Fuentes? This is crazy. Are you an anti-Semite? Da 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 da. Like, I had taken all this private grief, and I was like, you know, seriously, like, not only have I stuck up for you when I didn't need to, I've had to take all this bullshit, like, from people that like I've known for a really long time, that like for sticking up for you, and now you're gonna come and pull this shit. So that's when I went back and watched Wurzelroot's stream on my channel, and I was like, what the fuck even happened to cause this? And then it was in the back of my head, like, did Nick tell him to do this? Like, did Nick co-sign this? Why the fuck would he do that? Because it's always been kind of like I said, I have not spoken to Nick in any way. And thank you, Yasmin. I appreciate you. Yasmin's, by the way, is the one that started all this. Yeah, this is important, actually. Yasmin and I, back in the day, when Nick had the Apple Twitter account, Yasmin and I were always on the lookout for like, when is Nick Fuentes going to do a Twitter space? Mostly because like his accounts were getting banned really quickly at that point. And so it was like, if Nick was doing a Twitter space, we wanted to be there for it because he would say the craziest shit. Like insane shit. Yeah, we were like secretly, but like not secretly, like following him around just to like hear the crazy shit that he was saying in these Twitter spaces. So when that happened, when he had his Apple account, like we were following him around. I think I tweeted that, oh, we want to watch it. Like we wanted to watch Nick do a Twitter space or something. And he liked the tweet and he followed me. And I was like, why the fuck is Nick Fuentes following me? I was immediately on guard. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because we weren't again, we're not friends. Like I've never spoken to the guy. And what I know of the guy is that he can be a little bit of an instigator. Let's just be honest. He is. So he followed me from the Apple account. The Apple account almost immediately got banned. And then, what was it? A couple weeks later, he came back with the Purple Grimace account. So I found the Purple Grimace account and I followed it. He immediately followed me right back. And I was like, why is he following me? And in my head, I'm like, he's following me because he's going to do something evil. I'm in for it. Like he's going to do something evil. His community's going to do something evil. What the fuck is going on? Why is he following me? I was on and this is a truth. I was like freaking out. I was like, what the fuck is about to hit me in the fucking face from this? Like, what is going on? Because I mean, like, at that point, all I had really done was like kind of shit on him in public, to be honest. And I feel like I've always been fair to him. I actually feel like I've been more than fair to him in like some of the other reaction streams I've done about him on Fresh and Fit or him doing the Holy War speech or things like that. Like I really do feel like I've been pretty fair to him, but I was shitting on him. Like let's just be honest. So I was like, he's trying to do something. I have maybe called Nick Fuentes gay and said that he needs a dick in the ass like 87 times at least. It probably even more. Okay. So when he followed me from this Purple Grimace account, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then that account got banned. And then he came back with the Autumn Groiper account and like he followed me like immediately before I even knew that account existed. Like he was following me. And then I was seriously like, what the fuck is going on? And so and I don't necessarily I had no basis to know what does he want with me was the main question. Like, why is he interested? Like, why? So that kind of brought us up to the point where he and I started bantering on Twitter. And like I was even talking with Joshua about this, who's my life coach for people who don't know. He's also like a psychic because I'm woo-woo and all that stuff. And Joshua was like, well, Carlin, maybe he just likes you. And I was like, I don't know about that. And like, why? And but that was Joshua's assessment. Maybe he just likes you. And so I was like, okay, well, fine. Maybe we are in a universe where Nick is not planning something evil and maybe he really is just interested in what I'm saying or what my perspective is. I don't know why, but okay. So I started kind of just like bantering with him because I was like, what would happen if? Like a lot of the things that I do on the internet are kind of like, what would happen if I do this? How is a person going to react if I do this? What are they going to say? What are they going to do? It's not necessarily meant in an evil way as much as it is just like, I'm a psychologist. I'm curious about psychology. Like if I do X, how is that person going to respond? And kind of like what does that mean? So I banter with people like all the time. And in this case, he responded and I was like, okay, well, this is kind of fun. This is lighthearted. All this stuff. And so then Wurzelroot like did this thing about me and he raided my stream and I responded to him and I was upset about it. I wasn't like when I got upset when I was responding to Wurzelroot, I don't think people understand this. I wasn't upset because he called me a fat bitch for an hour. That wasn't why I was like upset and crying. I was upset because like and I can understand why people would think that, but like I am actually very used to people calling me like fat and ugly on the internet. Like it's not, which is a ridiculous thing to say in of itself, right? Like it's a ridiculous thing that people have to get used to this, but I am used to it. Like why I was upset in that is because I was like, listen, asshole, like I have stuck up for your friend all week. I have taken a metric ton of grief from one of my friends. This stream is one of the most important things I do. And the big part of me was like, am I going to have to look over my shoulder? Are the Groipers going to be doing this to me all the time now? Are they always going to be attacking my streams? Is this like an ongoing problem that I'm going to have to deal with? That was honestly why I was really upset at the end of the day. Bro, it really seems like you're not actually listening to what I'm saying. So maybe you want to stop talking and actually listen to what I'm saying because I'm actually explaining this to you. But the thing, Groipers, is that you need to open your ears and listen instead of just shit posting in people's chats. So that happened. Then what happened was they were badgering me to go on this guy's channel. This guy is named Beardson. Again, someone I had never heard of before. And I didn't really want to do it, to be honest. But on the day of Nick debating Alex Jones, which I live streamed, like last Wednesday, right? I live streamed that. Like, that was a really lackluster stream. I wasn't actually really happy with it. And like, it was coming up on, like, I had to do something for my 5 p.m. stream. And I was just kind of like, oh, like, this is just such a letdown. And I was just like really feeling very unmotivated. And so I basically said, like, I don't really know what to stream today. Like, whatever. I was like looking for some stuff on Twitter, seeing what people wanted to talk about. Well, Beardson responded, he's like, you want to stream with me? And I was like, no. Because here's the thing is like what I knew about Beardson at that point was he's kind of, I mean, here's my impression. Tell me if I'm wrong. Bro, you're not going to do this. No. Listen, Gripers, I know that you do this shit on other people's channels. I really do. But in this channel, you're not going to do this shit to me. Do not insult me. Do not insult other people in the chat. Like, we have rules here. I don't want to deal with it. I'm too old for this shit. I am not a streamer that deals with this type of bullshit. Okay? Okay. So this guy Beardson invited me on his stream. Now, Beardson is friends with Wurzelroot, and they do a show together. And so I knew going into this, I was like, first of all, what they're trying to do is smooth things over because they think that I have some sort of like influence over Nick when I don't. Like that like Wurzelroot screwed up and like they're trying to smooth it over. Okay. Here's the thing about these guys though. They're incels. Right? They're incels. And so they don't really know how to, first, they don't like women. They don't know how to talk to women. They do not like it when women are smart. They want women to be stupid. Thank you, Milk Tea Groiper. No, James Madison, they are not pretending to be groipers. They're not pretending to be groipers at all. If you had half a brain, you would know that these are literally people that are on Nick's platform. So going into this, I was like, this person is not going, first of all, I'm not going to be friends with this person because this person is like not that smart. I had watched enough of his content at this, like prior to agreeing to this. I had watched enough of his content to know that like he's not the brightest crayon in the box and he's not going to like me. And what they really wanted to talk to me about was like the race stuff, which is the thing that I said. I was like, Groipers, you do not want to talk to me about the race stuff because you're fucking wrong. They're just wrong. Now, the Groipers seem to believe that they have some hidden knowledge that I've just never seen before and have never had access to. But what the Groipers don't know is I spent 6 months in 2021 embedded in like the white identitarian, white positivity, white well-being movement and watching all the streams from all those people. And so it's not as though I'm unfamiliar with their race baiting bullshit. I was actually deeply embedded into it and watched it for about 8 to 10 hours a day, almost every single day for close to 6 damn months to try to figure out how they were fucking up the anti-CRT stuff. And I later published an article on my Substack detailing with like a dozen clips from their streams doing investigative journalism into this to figure out how that, because what was going on is they were going into the anti-CRT groups on Facebook when people were trying to get like anti-CRT laws passed. And they were fucking everything up. They really were. It was deeply, deeply disruptive. And so that's all available on my Substack. If you guys want to see, hang on. I'll even show it to you. if you go to my Substack, which is carlin.substack.com, and you go here, go to the top section. It's one of the top articles ever in my Substack. Here it is. The backlash to critical race theory is here, and they're trying to co-opt the anti-CRT movement. This is like in-depth research and reporting that took me like a long ass time to do. Where I like looked into all these people that were the main ones causing the problems. I tracked them across different Facebook groups. I have clips of them like talking about what they're doing overtly. They weren't hiding it at all. Like, you can go through this entire article and see for yourself. So the point of bringing this thing just keeps going and going and going and going and going. The reason I did this is because they were genuinely disrupting like legislative efforts against critical race theory that I actually cared about. And they were riling up these parents, and it was really unhelpful. And it was actually like, this was at a time when I was like running around the state of New Hampshire teaching people about critical race theory, because people really didn't know what it was back then. People still don't know what it is, but they really didn't know what it was back then. And like, anyone who had encountered these white well-being assholes were impossible to deal with. I cannot even tell you. Like, if you went to meetings and tried to teach them something, it would like, they would get angry, they would get belligerent, they would get extremely disruptive. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And where are these people coming from? It was really, really bad. So all I have to say is that the Groypers seem to think, the ones that are really focused on like the race baiting bullshit, they seem to think that I've just never encountered this stuff before. Oh, no, 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 no. I know all your arguments. I know the players in it. I know what you guys are going to say. And so I was really upfront with the Groypers at the beginning. And I said, I was like, do not bring this race shit near me. I don't want to talk about it with you. You are allowed to think whatever you want. I really don't care. But do not ask me to talk about this with you, because it's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go. Well, so what did Beardson want to talk about? And we're going to watch part of the stream. What did Beardson want to talk about? He didn't want to ask any questions about me. He didn't want to ask any like thing about my work. He didn't want to ask anything about Nick or any of that. He wanted to talk about the race stuff. Why? Because Wurzelroot had wanted to talk about the race stuff. And the whole thing with Wurzelroot disrupting my Socialism Saturday stream was that he wanted me to go convince him that he wasn't really a racist. And I was like, I really have no interest in this at all in any way. So I kind of knew, like, I was like, if Beardson tries to talk to me about the race stuff, here's what I'm going to do. Here was my plan going into this stream. I was like, number one, this guy and I are never going to be friends, because he's not smart enough to be one of my friends. Nick Fuentes is smart. This guy, not smart. Wurzelroot doesn't like women. He doesn't respect women. He's gonna fucking hate me because I'm about 8,000 times smarter than he can ever hope to be. And if he talks to me about the race stuff, then, and this was my true plan in my head, I was like, I'm going to lecture him like the little fucking boy that he is. Which I knew, because I had gotten familiar enough with the antics on Cozy. I knew that like there is nothing that these guys hate more than being lectured to by a woman. And I also knew that that Beardson's goal with this was to be nice to me, to get me to talk to Wurzelroot on the show that they did together, like on Saturday. They call it the Weekly Sweat. It's a stupid ass name. I don't understand it, but like whatever. But I knew that Beardson was going to try to be nice to me, because he wanted to smooth stuff over so that he could get me to come on the show with Wurzelroot. So I was like, if this asshole brings up the race stuff that I have repeatedly said, I don't want to talk about with you, I don't want to talk about with you, I don't want to talk about with you. And what they do too is they really talk down to you about the race stuff. And it's like, bitch, again, I was embedded in this for like 6 fucking months. I know my shit when it comes to this. You guys have nothing to say to me that I haven't already heard a million times before. Like, so I was like, you know what? He wants to play this game. We can play this game. He wants to bring up this topic. I will lecture him like the little bitch that he is. Now, let's watch what happened. So, the first thing we're going to watch, and we're doing it Again, like someone has made a nice little clip video for us to be able to use that kind of outlines what happened. So let me give you just a little rundown, and we're going to talk through this as we're going through this video. So I went on Beardson's channel on Wednesday. Beardson brought up a subject that I had repeatedly told them I didn't want to talk to them about. I had already made the decision that if Beardson brought up this subject, I was going to lecture him like the little bitch that he is in a way that he really wasn't going to like, and completely just talk past him to whoever might be listening. And he can have whatever reaction he wants about it, but I was pretty sure Beardson wasn't going to like get insane about it because his goal was to try to smooth things over. This is why, guys, by the way, when I tell people, like, this is just a side note, people are confused about like why I emphasize so much understanding the left and understanding the socialists and understanding why they do what they do. Because if you know why someone is doing something, then what you can do is get 3 steps ahead of them, right? But if you don't understand why a person is doing what they're doing, then it's impossible to get ahead of them. I knew what Beardson wanted out of this, and I knew that he wanted to smooth things over with me so that I would go on his show with Wurzelroot and talk to them about like whatever, and they probably would have ambushed me on that show and tried to make me look stupid and all that stuff. And so I knew his goal, and I was like, he's going to try to placate me and be nice to me just to meet his goal. But if he brings up a subject I don't really want to talk about, then I'm going to lecture him like a little bitch. Well, he brought up that subject. I lectured him. And we're going to go through this, but I just want to give people an overview of what happened. He was not happy that I lectured him. Like, duh, right? So he was really unhappy about it. He complained about it for about 10 minutes after the stream. And then he said, but I secured her for the weekly sweat, so everything's okay. Well, fast forward later that night, and another show on Cozy, Politically Provoked, wanted me to come on to their show. And then we're talking, this is like midnight or something. This is like 11 o'clock midnight or something on Wednesday night. It went into Thursday morning. I was on their show actually until 2 a.m. And I was like, when they were like pestering me on Twitter, like, come on our show, come on our show, come on our show. Well, I didn't really have anything else going on. And so I was like, maybe. And then I was like thinking about it. I'm like, why do they want me to come on their show? Oh, they're going to try to ambush me. And I was like, I bet you they're going to try to ambush me and bring Wurzelroot onto the show with me. And then I was like, you know what? I bet if they try to ambush me with Wurzelroot, because all these Cozy people are like friends, right? I was like, I bet if they try to ambush me with Wurzelroot, that's really going to piss off Beardson, because he just sat there and let me lecture him like a bitch for an hour and a half, specifically to get the fucking payoff of me going on his show with Wurzelroot. So I was like, please God, let them ambush me with Wurzelroot on this show. And so then I went on to that show, and lo and behold, they ambushed me with Wurzelroot. And I was like, in my head, even when I was on that show, I was like, oh, I knew you guys were going to ambush me. But in my head, I'm going, yes, like I nailed this one accurately. So when they ambushed me with Wurzelroot, Beardson got fucking pissed that they ambushed me with Wurzelroot. And then Beardson had a fucking epic meltdown on his Cozy channel. We're talking, he was, and we're going to watch some of it today, he was belligerent about this whole thing where he had to sit and be lectured by a woman, and then Wurzelroot fucked this all up, and it was just like, it was honestly, not since the triggering of Deb Philman have I triggered someone so badly as I triggered Beardson. And you guys are going to see that. And the reason I had to cue all that up and like lay out the entire timeline of events is the very beginning of this video is like a small clip of Beardson just fucking melting down about the fact that I talked to Wurzelroot on a different show that was not his. So that's going to set up this clip. And then I think it goes back and it shows like the super chat with Nick and all this stuff. No, bro. See, this is why you guys are so fucking stupid. I literally tried to explain this to you when I was on Beardson's show the very first time. I said, you guys don't understand why people are doing what they're doing. And because you don't understand why people are doing what they're doing, you can't get ahead of them. This is game theory that I do all the time, bro. You guys are so fucking easy to predict. It's not even funny. I literally tried to hand you the keys to the kingdom. I can hand you the keys to the kingdom with what the left is doing. This is why we spend so much time talking about it. Even my audience will tell you Carlin does this shit all the time. I do game theory basically all the time, dude. I know how to play chess. I know you guys don't know how to play chess. You're too busy playing checkers. But I knew all this was going to happen. You want to know why? Because I'm a PhD psychologist, motherfucker, and I do this every single day of the week. Tried to tell you guys. I tried several times on the stream with Beardson. I said, you guys are playing the game that the left wants you to play. And Beardson was like, no, I think you're wrong. Well, you can think I'm wrong all you want, but one of us outmaneuvered all of you in this situation. And one of us is saying, you would never do that. That's a thing, post-game analysis. No. But I appreciate you giving me the satisfaction of like outplaying you guys desperately. Okay? Let's dig into the stream and I will do commentary. And this is a clip that's going to show you like some highlights of all of this. And I'm just going to like do some commentary over it while it's happening so that you guys can kind of see. All right.
Made the content. Okay? Because I am a diplomat, I am a visionary. You fucking idiot. You like low IQ, more. I set the whole thing up. I am the content genius, and Wurs is a low impulse that undercut me for no fucking reason.
You have a crush on Nick Fuentes. Oh, he set the whole thing up? He set the whole thing up? Bro. Beardson, you got outplayed by a girl, bro. You got outplayed by a girl. All right. So now this clip is going back and it's like basically documenting some of the stuff that happened. We're just going to let it play. And, I'll say what I want to say. Fuentes, I said, he has a crush on me.
I like it. We kind of have like a funny back and forth.
And now you're fucking pissing me off.
We got a fat lady yelling and screaming at Walmart.
That's Wurzelroot.
If you are what you eat, she's a sloppy joke.
I was so hopeful.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay. Good, how are you? So this is the first stream with Beardson. This was on Wednesday, where he was like trying to smooth things over, and I was like basically waiting for him to ask the race question.
I'm doing all right. Just enjoying the day. I kind of woke up a few hours ago and saw that you were like, I don't know what to watch. And I was like, let's hang out.
Well, why not? You guys were going to badger me until I said yes. And so I might as well just get it over with.
Well, I wasn't going to badger you. I just thought it'd be
No, you guys have people to badger me. You guys have other people that badger me until I say yes.
I have nothing to do with that. I'm not responsible for these freaks and animals, okay? I try to rank
Bullshit. These guys coordinate everything. And you know why? Do you know how I know they coordinate everything? Because it's like I can tell when there's been something like coordinated in like a Discord or a group chat somewhere, because what happens is like all of a sudden I have several people in my DMs or my mentions and they're all saying the same thing and I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? Because they think they're flying under the radar and they're being covert, but like I've been playing this game for years now with different groups and I know how it works. And so bullshit, you're not coordinating this, bro.
Them in as much as I can, but they wanted to see it. They wanted to see the content.
Fine, I'm gonna knit while we talk. That's the other thing too that I want to say is like these guys Beardson is like obsessed with content. They're all obsessed with content. That's like all they think about. Content. How do I make content? Next content. Blah, 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 blah. It's like that's all they talk about. And it's like it's this mindset. Like I don't really actually understand it. Because again, like my mentality about all this is very different. And again, I'm not judging because everyone likes what they like. You can like different things, fine. I'm like using this to teach people stuff. Anyone who wants to learn can come and learn, right? But like I'm not creating content just to create like content. It's like this weird obsession that I've just never encountered before.
That's fine. You like knitting? Yeah, well, it was very weird because I mean, this whole like situation. I mean, I don't want to say like transformation or anything, but you're, I guess, softening your position on Nick a little bit at the very least. I think that's charitable enough to say, right?
Well, Nick is also being more nuanced in his talking points than I've seen him previously.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting.
I mean, I make a living off of my content as well, but I'm not like. I make a living off of content that's like helpful to people, and I don't run around obsessing like content. I'm not looking to create content for the sheer sake of creating content. I'm looking to create content that accomplishes a goal. And so maybe they should try creating content that actually like accomplishes something. I don't know, but I don't think like that.
Because I mean, I've heard of you before and I've seen you around, obviously, and you've sort of been at odds with our sphere and our circle. So I just thought it was like kind of an interesting time, and especially just an interesting thing happening where, you know, these two great forces were kind of coming together, and I just wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit about it.
That's fine. I think the entire race question is a massive distraction. I disagree with a lot of the things you guys say around, you know, the gays. I think again there are far more problems that are within that I think are more problematic than just like gay marriage. I'm not a Christian. I don't believe that this should be a Christian nation. But like, why do you care? So by the way, like again, I didn't know how they were going to edit this because this is the first time I've watched this clip. This is me responding to questions that Beardson asked me. So this is not even at a point, like I hadn't even gone into full on lecture mode at this point. Like this is me just literally responding to the questions that Beardson asked me. So it is echoing. I don't know why it echoed. I think that was a problem on his end. I have no idea why that was. I'm sorry. Why do you care about if a woman that you're not dating and not involved with and not going to have a kid with goes on birth control? But like, why do you get to make the rules for what other people do with their bodies? You guys suck at winning hearts and minds. You guys suck at letting people make their own decisions. Look at someone like fucking Ali Alexander, through leftist indoctrination in public schools from the time they were in kindergarten, are going to be fully in the workforce. It's like when you go to a magic show, right? You got the magician over here and he's doing. Now by this time I had absolutely moved into like full on lecture mode because Beardson kept asking me about the race stuff, and I was like, all right, I told you guys at the beginning, like if he was gonna ask me about the race stuff, like I was gonna fucking lecture his ass about the race stuff. The trick about private property and taking it back from the oppressive form of capitalism. That's what decolonization means. Attack capitalism, usher in their Marxist utopia.
No, I wanted to, and I hope this was a good talk, by the way. I hope you had fun. I hope you had a good time. I know you had some beef with Wurzelroot, who's a friend of mine.
Yeah,
and
well, he shouldn't have disrupted my stream.
I don't think he intended to disrupt your stream. He's okay, and I'm not trying to talk bad about him either. He's just a little bit autistic, you know. I saw you guys had beef, and I think I reached out to you Saturday to try to make amends, because that's kind of who I am. I like to be a peacekeeper. I like to be a nice guy. I want everybody to get along, you know. You know, I wanted to try to smooth things over. I didn't understand the full story either. To be fair, I didn't realize there was all the clips and all that stuff. Words just kind of told me that some guy said something in your chat, you got really mad about it, which is fair. You're trying to do your show, you don't want to, you know, be bummed.
Yeah, and this is also like the translation thing that happens with groypers is like I have my chat completely invaded and raided and my stream completely disrupted, and what gets translated back into the land of groyper is it was just one or two guys. It wasn't just one or two guys. If it was just one or two guys, I would have blocked their asses and moved on. But it's like this is another thing that honestly drives me crazy about them is like groypers don't, and not all groypers, there are good groypers. I'm not saying all groypers, apparently. I'm not saying all groypers, but like I've definitely had interactions with like very annoying groypers who like you can say a sentence to them that is extremely clear. You can show them evidence, and it's like it goes in one ear and out the other. And it's like they can't even acknowledge what has been put right in front of them, and they pretend that they hadn't seen it. And it's like Pedro said, I would hate to see this bridge burn because of drama with the worst scrapers. We're all not all, listen, like, and I've said this a million times, I am willing to interact with anyone that wants to learn and discuss these ideas and not be assholes. Honestly. Like that's the God's honest truth. If you guys want to be cool, we can be cool. What I'm talking about right now is like just the experience that I've had in the last week as a result of sticking up for Nick online, which is just, it's a little bit bizarre to me, to be honest, that like all I did was stick up for him. And like all of a sudden I started to get shit thrown at me from his friends on his platform. So this is nothing against like normal, like just like, average people that are involved. Like you guys are more than welcome.
Bombarded or hate rated or whatever. I didn't realize it was a whole big thing, and it was like an actual feud or whatever. So I was a little out of the element, but I don't know. I would hope that I don't know if you'd be open to this or not, but maybe one day like all three of us can maybe sit down and have a talk, maybe smooth things over, break bread and start over. I don't know if that'd be something you'd be open to.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
I don't know if you're ever free on like Saturdays, but we do a show together every Saturday night. I don't know if that would disrupt your work or not, but we'd love to have you on.
I do my Socialism Saturday stream every Saturday at 6 p.m. and that tends to last anywhere from like 3 to 4 hours. So and that's it. Yeah. So if it's outside of that, then I would be open to it.
Okay.
So yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Maybe we'll set something up. Maybe I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out. We know how to talk to each other now, so that'll be cool. So all right, cool. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking to me. I think this was a fun talk. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, no problem. And I hope that someday you guys will actually look at the evidence that we have from, again, thousands of hours of listening to the left.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's why I like talking to you too. It's new perspective. It's a fresh set of eyes. I mean, I think everybody needs that. So
he hated it
so
so much.
Well, hey, thanks for talking to me. It was fun talking to you. Well, hopefully we'll talk again soon.
All right, cool, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So, okay. So what happened, and again, this is back on Wednesdays, what happened is he then ended the stream with me. And again, before I had done this, because they had already been badgering me to talk to Beardson, I had gone on to Cozy and just like watched a little bit of like content from him, and I had like researched him a little bit and all this stuff. And I knew damn well he did not enjoy that stream. He did not enjoy talking to me. He learned absolutely nothing. He was not open to learning anything. Like most of the stuff I said went completely over his head, and all of that, like, and you could like, I was like in my head when I was like, oh my God, like I could not believe, I truly and sincerely could not believe that he held it together for the entire stream, because I knew I was hitting like every fucking inferior fucking male incel, afraid of women, doesn't know how to interact with women. Like I was hitting every single, hates strong women, hates smart women. I hit every single fucking button for him. And you have to give him some credit in some respects that like he held it together and didn't go off on me, because he wanted me to go on the Weekly Sweat, where him and Wurzelroot, in all likelihood, were going to ambush me. Now, what happened when Beardson didn't go off on me is Beardson's audience started rebelling against him and basically like ragging on him, because Beardson's audience didn't want to see me lecture Beardson any more than Beardson wanted to be lectured by me, right? And so what they did is, here, Kaiser said he got a lot of flack for having you on, and he said he enjoyed the interview 2 nights ago. Well, he got a metric ton of flack from his audience. His audience was not pleased. He didn't have the super chats on because the super chats were going to be things like calling me a fat bitch and like all this stuff and like whatever. Don't worry, Beth. This is the last stream I'm doing on this. I hope this is the last stream I'm doing. This is the last stream I'm planning on doing on this. So what happened is after we finished the stream, he started up another stream to do kind of a debrief. Now I kind of figured he was going to do this. So I just kind of like waited and I was like, what is he going to say to his audience? Well, let's see what he said. Maybe a little bit of it.
Hey, look at me.
Look at me.
Look at me go.
All
right, so
what'd you
I
do?
Secured the peace treaty.
Peace treaty.
Why is everybody booing me? Like, what do you mean? Boo sucks? Fuck you guys.
LOL.
I just brought you guys some great content. It was awesome. I just mended the wounds, and you guys want to be fucking mean to me? Fuck you guys. Fuck words, honestly. What the fuck?
No, it did suck. You didn't understand anything.
Are you kidding me?
It
Yeah,
wasn't
just
interesting anything from you.
Made peace? I betrayed words? Oh, yeah. No.
Made peace. Lol.
All right, cool. Fuck you guys.
Ends the stream? Did he really? Is this real?
Oh yeah, he ended the stream and then he came back.
Rage quits.
So by the way, guys, this is a guy named Big Tech. I actually have I talked to Big Tech yesterday on his stream just about the whole situation. I've got a clip going up on the channel later today. It just finished exporting actually of me discussing this entire thing with Big Tech. So that's going to come up on the channel later today. I actually like him. Like he, of all the people that I've like met in this situation, I actually like him. He's chill. He's got a good vibe. Like he's not an asshole. He's smarter than Beardson and Wurzelroot by like a significant degree. And so I had a great chat with him yesterday. But he was like, so Big Tech Steel is like, he used to stream on Cozy and then he called Nick out over Ali Alexander stuff and Nick got pissed off and didn't want him to talk about it. And then basically, like, I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but there was like a big drama around Cozy. There was there's like a 6.5 hour stream detailing all the drama around Big Tech's exit from Cozy that you can watch on this channel, which I know that because I watched the whole thing over the weekend. It's actually kind of interesting. But anyway, so Big Tech ended up either leaving Cozy or getting kicked off of Cozy. It kind of seemed like it was one of those situations where it was like, it's kind of like what happened to me with the Republicans, where I was like, okay, Republicans, I've had enough. See ya. And then 3 months later, the Republicans came back and it's like, you can't quit, you're fired. It kind of seems like it's the same thing to me, where like Big Tech had like made the decision to leave Cozy, and then Cozy was like, fuck you, like you can't quit, you're fired, sort of thing. And so anyway, so he used to stream on Cozy. He doesn't stream on Cozy anymore. But he kind of like, he watches them and he like streams about them and stuff like that. So that's why he's involved in this.
Oh, it's so over. Fuck you guys. After talking to her for all that time, he feels like he was a good boy. He endured that. He didn't rage out.
He knows.
He wanted to.
He knew what happened.
And now they're all dunking on him. He's actually mad. That's not like an ironic, fine, I'll log off. He wants to sit around and get paid right now. Is he back?
So then he came back.
Like that. I got to play the super
go.
chats.
Oh, see.
Super chats. She's a fat bitch. Why are you talking
No, I think it was good. I think it was a good talk.
That's so funny,
Here's the thing. You guys got to
So
understand. I'm
funny.
building the content for down the road, too, right? Like, I mean, we're just getting to know each other. And I wanted to make sure everything was to be cool. See how kind of testing the waters. You know,
so funny.
See what everything's about. You know what I mean? And I think it was good. I'm building the content down the road. I secured the Wurzel. I secured her as a guest on the Weekly Sweat. So we're going to have Wurz and me and her on
Totally
a sweat.
gonna go.
That's going to be legendary. Again, I'm forward thinking here. Okay.
It's going to be legendary. That's going to be really cool having her on the Weekly Sweat. Everybody's going to love that.
Okay.
By the way, I never really intended to go on the Weekly Sweat. Like, I never really intended to follow through on that. I kind of just said I would, just to like, I had put him through enough. I had put him through enough at that point. I was just kind of like, and my plan was basically like I was going to ignore and procrastinate on it until he gave up, because sometimes I can be like passive aggressive. So that was my plan, is I was just going to ignore him until he gave up on his dream of having me on the Weekly Sweat. But I never actually intended to go on that show, because I knew that anything I experienced on that show was not actually going to be good for me. It was going to be an ambush of some sort that was going to end up with just me getting shit on for like me getting shit on for sticking up for their friend when I had no reason to do so. So I didn't really intend to do that, but I said I did, because sometimes it's okay to lie when it's an innocent white lie that doesn't actually, well, it wasn't really a white lie. Sometimes it's okay to lie when the lie is inconsequential.
Okay. All right. But yeah, I'm building the content for down the road. I think it would be good to have us three on a weekly sweat. You know what I mean?
Sumo Brain sent $5.
Okay.
Welcome to Politically Provoked.
Okay. So several hours after I went on to Beardson's stream, this bitch, one of the stupidest women I've ever encountered on the internet. And that's like, it's really saying a lot. Like, this bitch literally just streams on Cozy to get insulted by the men on Cozy, to make money while being insulted by the men on Cozy. I'm like, could you have any less self-respect for yourself? I really don't get it. I had actually blocked her on Twitter. I was like, I want nothing to do with this person. Like, I just like bad vibes, like whatever, wanted nothing to do with her. And then I got badgered into unblocking her. And so I was like, okay, I had issued a general amnesty to the Groyper. So I was like, I'm probably just going to block her again later, but like, whatever, fine. Like, it was just like, again, it's like a path of least resistance sort of thing. So what happened was that several hours after I was on Beardson's show, they started tweeting at me like, come on our show, come on our show, come on our show. And I was like, and again, it was like 11 o'clock at night, like almost midnight. And I was like, and I was really high. And so I like sat there and I thought about it for a second. And I was like, I knew that the only purpose of me going on that show was that they were going to try to ambush me in some way. And I was like, in the back of my head, I'm like, they're going to bring Wurzelroot on this show. Like, I don't know, maybe I was just being intuitive, because I'm pretty intuitive. But I was like, I just kind of like played the scenario, and I was like, I bet they're going to try to ambush me and bring Wurzelroot on. And that's really going to piss off Beardson, because Beardson really wants me and Wurzelroot to talk to them on his show, because they're all obsessed with content. And Beardson thinks they're going to make a lot of money if I go on his show with Wurzelroot. And so if I go on this show and I'm right that they're going to ambush me on this show, then that's really going to piss off Beardson and could be actually kind of funny. What does Victor think of all this? Victor is like so amused by this entire situation. He's like, you guys are fucking around. Like, what? Like, he's like just laughing about it, honestly, but he doesn't really have much to say other than that. So I was like, okay, I'll go on your show for a little while. Let's just see what happens.
Oh, no. Okay. Hold on a second. Let's not do this. So we saw that you had that conversation with Beardson, and you don't know the old Beardson, but he was very nice to you.
I did, actually, Brittany. I did, because unlike you, I actually do my research into things, and I knew who Beardson was and how he generally is.
He's not usually like that. Maybe you brought that out in him.
He's known.
I was nice to him.
Yeah.
He's not known for that. It's out of character, and props to him for being nice. Do you feel like you dominated him in that discussion?
Yes,
I do.
I didn't even try to. That's the scary part. That was actually true, by the way. I was prepared to go. I was prepared to be much more domineering in that conversation than I actually had to be, which was surprising to me. I felt like almost like, and people on my like that are regulars on my channel can attest to this. Like, I reined it in quite severely for that type of environment. Like, I was not as fiery as I usually was. I wasn't as pushy as I usually was. I just lectured him like in a pretty calm and even tone. So like, did I dominate Beardson? Oh yeah. Yeah. I controlled the entire conversation. But I didn't actually have to try that hard, is the thing. Like Beardson could have been much more aggressive, and I still would have dominated his ass every single day. Bot saw the whole thing. Bot, like, you were easy on him. Yes, I was. I was very easy on him. But that's because he was like reining it in. He wasn't trying to come at me because he wanted something from me. It's true. I basically pegged him. Maybe Nick wasn't the one who wanted the thing that I said he wanted. Maybe it was really Nick's friend that wanted it. Who knows?
Knitting while you were dominating him.
So much harder than I actually went. You guys have. I was like on 25%.
Oh no!
True.
That's over.
So.
Oh, there he is.
What's up, Word?
And you can see me. Look at my face. Look at my. Well, I look a little crazy right there because I was high. But like, I was stifling a fucking laugh because I was like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. I was like, oh, don't laugh, don't give it away. But I was like, yeah, you guys. And again, this is the funny part about these guys is like, I had to listen to Beardson say over and over again. He's like, we can't play the game the left is playing. We can't play the game the left is playing. We can't play the game the left is playing. And I kept trying to tell him, I was like, you are playing the game the left is playing because you guys suck at game theory. Like, you're doing what they want you to do and you don't even realize it because you don't know what they want you, you don't know what their plan is. And so I was like, in my head, I'm like, I just outgame these motherfuckers and I barely even knew them. And it was so easy to outgame them. It's not even funny. You guys, gripers, you really, and I will teach you how to do this if you want to learn. Sincerely, you guys have got to learn game theory. You guys have got to start playing chess. You're really bad at this. It's not your fault. But you can learn how to do this.
Hold on.
Look at my face though. I'm like so I knew. I was like so fucking satisfied with myself. I have never been this satisfied with myself like ever. I was getting ambushed. I fucking knew I was gonna.
I honestly didn't know he was coming.
I just want to talk. I'm a cute, sweet little guy.
It isn't in classic Wurzelroot form to disrupt Carlin's work. When she's here,
he does the same thing to me too.
And of course, in classic Wurzelroot fashion,
live stream.
We're not going to trust words. Is that what we've become? Huh?
Listen, no offense, bro. No offense, but this is why you guys lose. Do you know how many people I've heard on the right say we don't need to be strategic against the left because we have Jesus on our side? Jesus is not going to save you, bro. What Jesus has done is given you the tools to save yourself. Jesus is expecting for you to step up and use the tools that he's given you to save yourself. He's not going to beam down to earth and fix all the problems for you because you pray to God that he will. He gives you the tools and he gives you the inspiration. He gives you the resources to fix your problems yourself. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
So
are we being nice?
Yeah, we're gonna be nice. All right.
I don't mind bantering with you. I don't mind being hazed by you or any of these things. But like when I ask you not to disrupt what I'm doing, there's a reason for it. And like I that's all. I
didn't know about Socialism Saturday.
My fucking streams.
I'm just a silly little guy who came along and I was like, oh, let's have fun, and then instead you were mean.
Oh, right? Look, guys, Brittany, because here's the other thing about these people. This is all they fucking do all day. This is all they do all day is like they troll around the internet watching different people talk about them. And then I'm sure that this stream is going to be streamed later on Cozy or like posted somewhere. It's the weirdest fucking subculture I've ever been in. You guys have got to get a life, man. Really, like you're in a little insular community where like you're not touching grass. You're not like, and for people who are outside of this, I mean, maybe you're happy in this. I don't know why you would have no self-respect for yourself, that literally all you do is get insulted all day and that's how you make your money. But like, it's just, it's a little ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous. Well, you were pretty mean to me for about an hour before you rated that stream, bro.
Well, I didn't know you were going to see that.
Well, it's on.
It's locker room talk.
Do we need-
Grab her by the.
This is the other thing too that I really don't understand about this is another area in which you guys really suck at game theory, because literally all I do online is I watch people and I commentate on what they're saying and what they're doing. And I watch some of the most boring shit on the internet. I watch some of the cringiest shit on the internet, and I will sit there for hours a day watching the boring shit to be able to find like the few minutes of like golden nuggets within that boring shit so that we can show people what the left is doing. Did you guys really think that you could talk about me and shit on me for over an hour and I wasn't going to see it? I watch fucking everything. And they're like, well, we didn't know you were going to watch that. We didn't know you were going to watch that. We didn't know you were going to watch that. Well, Brittany, if you want to learn about queer theory, then you're welcome to come to Socialism Saturday and learn like everyone else. I strongly suspect it will fly right over your head. But, you know, we've taught dumb people before. We can teach dumb people again. Jerry's getting banned. Goodbye, Jerry. Jerry didn't know how my chat works or that he could annoy me into banning him very quickly. Goodbye, Jerry. It was nice to know you.
That's
the internet.
It's locker room talk.
I mean, all right.
All right.
Do that shit again. That's all I'm saying.
Let's be friends. We're friends now, right?
We know each other. We're talking. We have not graduated to friends yet. No.
Acquaintances. Let's go.
Yeah,
all right.
How's it going, everybody?
Okay. So now we are getting into Beardson's epic fucking meltdown. And what we're going to watch here is just but a small portion, a tiny little portion of Beardson's meltdown. And I have some more of Beardson's meltdown queued up in a different stream. Yeah, I thought the interview with Big Tech was great. I'm going to be posting a clip of it later today for people who missed it. You can also just go on his kick.com/Big Tech, I think, and watch it there. But like, this is a small portion of what happened, and we might watch more depending on how much time we have. But let's watch Beardson's meltdown from having to be lectured by a girl for an hour and a half on with content that was way over his head and not being able to say anything about it.
This is a rare occurrence because this is a drunk stream because I am drunk. Do you guys want to get into some drama, by the way? I'm drunk, so I feel like I'm allowed. Dude, fuck Politically Provoked. I don't know what the shot was. I know it was brown and it tasted good, but it pushed me way over the edge. But can we say fuck Politically Provoked? Why are they always talking shit about me, dude? Like, I want to be friends with Mio and Brittany, and they are constantly taking shots at me, dude. Like, why? I'm nothing but nice to them. I had them on the sweat last week when they had 100 viewers and me and Wurs had like 500 or 600. I brought them on the show. No, I don't give a fuck about TOS. Like, why are they talking shit about me? Brittany's like talking shit about me. Mio's talking shit about me. Oh, what? Because I was nice to some insane, mentally ill bitch? Fuck you.
Yes. I am the insane, mentally ill one. I'm definitely, between the two of us, Beardson, I'm definitely the insane, mentally ill one. Yeah, bro. Definitely.
You fucking... And you drunk? Fuck you. Like, I've been nothing but nice to you people. I've been nothing but nice. And like they want to come after, and they stole my fucking content. They ruined my content.
Content, bro. Content.
Let's be honest. I set this whole thing up where me and Wurs are going to bring Carolyn, I'm sorry, onto the sweat, and these fucking clout-chasing millennial ruin the whole fucking thing. And honestly, Wurs, what the fuck is Wurs doing going on their show, making no fucking, like, what a dumbass. Wurs, can I be real? Can we be real? What a fucking dumbass Wurs is for going on their show to talk to Carlin and make no fucking money when it would have been so much fucking content when me and Wurs and Carlin would have had the weekly sweat together.
Listen, I just want to say this. I know that everyone in this community is a good Catholic and they don't believe in sex outside of marriage. And so I'm sure that all of them are virgins and or celibate if they, like, maybe born again virgins if they, you know, previously lost their virginity before they entered into the order of Graper. I get it. Okay, fine. But when you sexually repress yourself, that energy is going to go somewhere, and it's not always going to go the way that's going to be beneficial. And so while I understand that he claims to be a good Catholic and he attends church and Christ is king and like all that stuff, maybe just getting laid would be a better and more productive outlet for the obvious pent-up aggression. Like, Jesus loves you. Jesus wants you to be happy. And, you know, sometimes getting laid is just the easiest way to not make yourself lose your shit on the internet because you're pissed off that a woman that is far smarter than you lectured you about a topic that you don't understand.
Dummy. Yeah.
Grizzly Outdoorsman sent $3. Hope you had a good day, brother man.
But instead, Wurs goes on and talks to Carlin on the fucking Politically Provoked show? What a fucking dumbass, dude. You fucking idiot. You like low IQ, I set the whole thing up. Hey, guess what? Wurs, we would have made money. We would have had better content. But instead, you just said, I'm such a low impulse, low IQ. I'll talk to her on the I love Wurs, okay? For the record, I love Wurs to death. He's one of my best friends. I don't want to talk shit about Wurs. But can we all agree? What a dumb move. What a dumb move that he pulled. You know what I mean? I love Wurs to death. I don't want to talk bad about Wurs ever. All I've tried to do is gas this up. But like, come on. What a fucking low IQ, retarded, like, it's a move. It's a move. What a move.
The word being bleeped out there is the N-word, hard R. He said that, and this is something they do on Cozy. They are provocateurs on Cozy. They say all the words you're not supposed to say. They talk about all the topics you're not supposed to talk about. But just in case, like, he said it a lot. Like, that is even a line like I will not cross because it doesn't make me feel good. But like, that's their thing, I guess. Whatever. But he said it a lot.
Yes, I'll talk to her on Politically Provoked. Instead of like, I don't know, let's have her on the sweat. Let's make good content because that's what I was setting up. You know what I mean? I set up this whole thing. She like and I don't give a fuck what these Politically Provoked say. She would have never even went on Politically Provoked if it wasn't for me.
False. Well, I mean, I get, well, you know what? Maybe I like, my instinct was to say false to that. Like, I went on because I was high and I was like, they're gonna ambush me with Wurzelroot. So I think I probably would have done it anyway. But certainly, it definitely did make it a little bit sweeter to me that I was like, if they ambush me with Wurzelroot, it's really gonna piss off Beardson. But like, I probably would have gone on anyway, just because I was high and I was bored. And so maybe it wouldn't have had the impact that it did otherwise have. But it's just not factually accurate to say that I wouldn't have gone on if it wasn't for Beardson, just for the record.
She was done with Groypers entirely, and I set the entire thing up. I set the entire thing up. I made the content.
I also wasn't done with Groypers entirely at this point. I was done with the race baiting bullshit. Like, I'd had enough of that. But like, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, like, if you're a Groyper and you want to learn stuff or hang out or whatever and be cool and chill and not lose your shit on the internet, you're more than welcome to stay. Anyone of any political belief system or like group or like cult on the internet is welcome here. Like, I've got a mishmash audience of people. Like, I'm not going to exclude everyone. I am just done with like the race baiting bullshit at this point. But I wasn't done with Groypers in general. That's not true.
Okay? Because I am a diplomat. I am a visionary. I know how to set up content.
Visionary.
And Wars acts like a fucking... and ruins it. Because he's an autistic... But I love him. I love him. I love the guy. But like, what a dumbass to undercut. Like, yeah, I'll go...
Maxiabro sent $8 from a content standpoint. Wurs uses the weekly sweat for gooning but blows his load on politically provoked.
Yeah, it's a move, dude. It's a move.
Redden, thank you for the super chat. Oh, hang on. This is loading slow today. Imagine giving money to a sycophant. This guy really tries to elevate himself. I mean, this is what they all do, though. I talked about this with Big Tech, and again, I'm going to post the clip on the channel in a little bit for people who haven't seen it, but like, I actually feel bad for Nick, to be honest, but it is also like a problem of his own making in that he has surrounded himself with like really dumb people who are never going to make it on their own. They're just going to ride his coattails. And so basically, like, what like, my understanding of the deal with like Beardson and Wurzelroot is they're like Nick's friends. And they've been loyal to Nick, and Nick believes they will always be loyal to him. And he's probably right about that because they need someone's coattails to ride. And so, but I just don't get the appeal. Like, I really, like, this is, I feel the same way about these people as I do about Chrissy Mayer. Chrissy Mayer, who is like never been funny in her life, but like people pretend that Chrissy Mayer is funny. I'm like, I don't understand this at all. And then that is the God's honest truth. I have tried to understand Chrissy Mayer. Chrissy Mayer was actually the inaugural episode of Nitwits where I was like, I really want to understand what people see in Chrissy Mayer because it eludes me. And I watched several hours of her content. I watched Content House with the jazz hands. Content House. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Maybe, I don't know if it's an intelligence thing. I don't know if it's just a preference thing. I just don't know. And I feel kind of the same way about this. I understand why people like Nick. Nick is charismatic. He flirts with his audience. He talks about like interesting things going on in the world. He has a perspective. He's trying to do something. I don't agree with what he's trying to do, but like I appreciate when people try to do things. I understand that. I understand it in the same way that I understand Tim Pool. Like, I think that Tim Pool doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I think that Tim Pool is a massive grifter that is just pandering to his audience for super chats. But I understand it. I understand why he has an audience. I understand why people like him. I think Tim Pool, very similar to Nick Fuentes, surrounds himself with stupid people to make himself look smarter. And I think Nick does the same thing. I think Nick has dumb friends that are loyal, and Nick puts up with it because they make him all look smarter, but I don't understand this. I really don't. It eludes me why this is appealing.
I am the content genius, and Wurs is a low impulse that undercut me for no fucking reason. But I still love him. I love Wurs to death. I do. Legitimately, I love Wurs. I know I'm being harsh, but I love Wurs. But I am the visionary. Okay, I am the visionary. I got yelled at for 2 hours by this dumb, retarded to set up a really great weekly sweat.
He got yelled at by this dumb, retarded bleep, bleep, bleep. I think we can imagine what's in the bleep, bleep, bleep. Yes, he's a good Catholic. He's a good Catholic. Christ is king. All that stuff.
And what does Wurs do? Low impulse move goes on politically provoked. Like, eat a dick, dude. I'm a little salty about it. I love Wurs to death, and I still love Wurs. Okay, admittedly, I still love Wurs. But like, what a fucking dumbass! You didn't. Here's the thing: you made no money off of it. You got worse content out of it. And you undercut your friend who was trying to set up a fucking alley-oop for you. You fucking retard. I literally had the layup for fucking Wurs, right? I had the layup for Wurs, and he fucking ruins it because he's a dumb, retarded dude. I had the layup for him. And he's a... But I love him. I love Wurs. I still love Wurs. Literally fumbled the fucking bag, dude. How great... Chat, how great would that stream have been if me and Wurs were to both dunk on Carlin instead of some...
Oh... It's almost like the only reason they wanted me to come on that show was to dunk on me and to set me up and to ambush me. Oh, who saw that coming? You want to know why I was never going to go on the weekly sweat in the first place? It's because I knew they were just trying to dunk on me. But here's the thing. And again, like I asked this on the stream with Big Tech yesterday. I really don't understand this because like I had no issue with Nick. No issue with him at all. I stuck up for him and put myself out there and got a boat ton of shit from people that I know for doing it, which I also didn't expect, but like whatever. If people want to try to control my speech, they can go fuck themselves. Like you guys know I'm going to say what I want to say every single time, and I meant every word of it. I have no regrets about standing up for Nick at all. But I think my issue with it is like, why on earth would... Here's the question that I have, because I've never understood what Nick's thing was with me. Did Nick tell them to do this? Like, is this something that like what, like, why is it that his friends on his streaming platform would proactively be slinging shit at someone who literally the only thing that I did was stick up for him? I mean, I just don't understand it. Are they this fucking offended at the idea that a woman would get attention for sticking up for Nick Fuentes, that we're like, we're going to show that bitch. We're going to make that bitch feel sorry for that? It just makes no sense. So, I don't know. I don't know. I really just genuinely do not understand, like, what the point of any of this was. But yeah, he just said it. The only reason he wanted... Bro, you're going to get blocked here too, because I don't allow whining and complaining in my chat. Thank you for stopping by. Goodbye. The only reason they wanted me on that show in the first place was to dunk on me. Again. Did they really think I was this stupid that I didn't see it coming? Of course they did, because they underestimate women.
Seething millennial had it. Worse, you didn't even make any money off of it, you fucking dumbass! You could have made money off of it, you fucking retard! Oh, I'll do it for free, because I'm a little Janny! Congratulations on making this bitch money! You fucking moron, dude! Congrats on making this bitch money that fucking hates me. Fuck you. But I love you. I love you. I'm a little mad, but I love you. But you're a fucking dude. How about you have some fucking impulse control, you fucking jeez, dude. He's like, Beardson's talking shit about me. What, I called you an autist? You are an autist, you fucking...
Yeah. I mean, this is like, their definition of good content is like very, 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 very different than our definition of good content. You know, people are allowed to like different things. People are allowed to have different preferences. You know, to each their own.
You would have politically provoked instead of fucking and like instead of being like a little patient with the content that I set up for you.
Yeah. Anonymous sent $5. You need this your money, but they fumbled the bag.
Yes, that's exactly right. Like how great would that content have been? And instead he gave it to politically provoked. What a fucking moron. What a fucking... What a dumb dude. Oh, I'll give this content to politically provoked. Who they hate you. Brittany and Mio hate you, Wurzel. They hate you. They hate me. They hate anybody that's more successful than them. Ask Dalton, because guess what? Dalton joined a Discord server that they were in, and guess what? All they were doing is talking shit about us.
So, like, all these people have, like, there are all sorts of, like, different Discord servers and different group chats floating around, and some people are in some group chats and not other group chats, and some people are in some Discord servers and not other Discord servers, and apparently all they do in all of these places is just talk shit about each other. I'm like, this is seriously, like, a little unhinged. If, like, all these people are ever doing is, like, talking shit about other people on Cozy and, like, ambushing other people on Cozy, I just don't, again, this is something that, like, this part of, like, streaming culture just eludes me entirely.
You fucking moron! They talk shit about anybody that's more successful than them because they're bitter.
Yeah, I've actually thought this several times, Kara. I've thought this several times. I'm like, these guys hate women so much that they've turned into women. Like, this is everything I hate about women wrapped up in a nice little bow, except they're not women. They're incels. I just, like, it's like they hate women so much that they've gone round the bend and have become the thing that they hate. It's crazy, but this is real. This is not like this is actually who they are.
Millennial. They talk shit about, dude. They literally are talking shit about me. And what's my crime? I was nice. Fuck you. I'm so sick of these fucking Brittany and Mio. All they do is talk shit about me. I've been nothing but nice to them. And they want to talk shit about me. Fuck you, you bitch, and you drunk millennial. Like, yourselves. Can we ban Politically Provoked from this shitty ass fucking server? Their fans suck. They suck. All they do is talk shit about everybody because they don't have any content outside of drama, and all the drama left. Fucking go. Nobody needs you here. Fuck you. I've been nothing but nice to you.
What,
yourselves?
Yo, can you fucking imagine if I did this? Can you imagine what would happen if I did this? Listen, I've done streams on the internet where I've been yelling. I've done streams on the internet where I've been crying. Can you imagine the amount of heat that I would catch if I did this on the internet? Like, bro, there would be people writing entire case studies about what a narcissistic psychopath I am if I ever did anything close to this. Exactly. They'd all be saying that I have a personality disorder if I did this. All of them.
You fucking idiots. Like, I'm sick of it, man. You cannot accept my apology. You are just like big tech in that regard. Like, seriously, I'm not trying to be rude, but you're just like big tech. You are just like big tech in that regard. Yes! Like, seriously, I'm not trying to be rude, but you're just like big tech. I have apologized. I have apologized. I've tried to move on. I've tried to be your friend. And you can't accept it. You can't move on. You can't practice forgiveness because guess what? Brittany is an atheist bitch who doesn't accept Jesus Christ. Fuck you. I have tried. Accept Jesus Christ. Accept Jesus Christ. Accept Jesus Christ. Like, real, right?
Does anyone else feel like we need an exorcism right now? I did this. You're all welcome. Never fuck with a woman who quite literally has a website about triggering people, you fucking morons. I may not have written content for Art of the Trigger lately, but I still own Art of the Trigger. artofthetrigger.com. You can go there for all your triggering related needs. These assholes literally thought they were so much smarter than me and so much better than me when I'm a psychologist who talks about game theory all the time on the internet with a website about triggering. Seriously. It's like, do your research, bro. Shauna, good to see you again, Shauna. It's been a while. Brittany is a masochist. That's why she likes being insulted, by the way. She's still she's something. She's something indeed, Shauna. Thank you for the super chat.
Stop A-logging me because that's what you stupid, bitter millennial are doing. You're A-logging me, so stop it. What a fucking dumbass Wurs is.
Okay. Now, these two run a channel called Kino Casino, and basically all these two do, and it's kind of pathetic and a little codependent really, is these two characters, all the content they create is about how much they hate Nick Fuentes, but they really love him. They really, really love him. They're like super fans. They're such haters. They're super fans. All the content they make is about Nick and Nick's friends and all the things they don't like about them. And it's just like, it's bizarre. And again, they're like, they have a YouTube channel. They have a YouTube clip channel. They have a thing on Kick where they talk, all they do is talk about this whole band of people. And so now we're going to get the commentary from the anti-Nick Fuentes cozy people but they're really not anti. They're really actually super fans. They hate them so much. Again, it's like they've gone round the bend that they hate them so much that they really love them. Nick Incognito says, best impression of Jesus is your savior. Yeah, for real. For real. Okay, so let's wrap this up.
For going on their show to talk to Carlin and make no fucking money when it would have been so much.
He's right.
Right.
No, he's right. Wurzel played himself. You played yourself, son. You fucked it up.
Yeah.
You gave Beaky Bimbo all the money. Well, fucking Wurzel tap danced and made it entertaining.
We're gonna find, by the way, Ashton. I'm gonna do a little spoiler.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hear from Beardson near the final quarter of this video of my edit. He's gonna now tell us that apparently Wurzel doesn't even tweet out their show.
No
promotion, never supports it.
Why should
always
he?
Late?
Why should he? He's the king. He just spits on Beardson.
Let's go, Fuentes.
They all just spit on Beardson because the thing is, Beardson he has no ability to make it good. So like Beardson needs to like attach himself like a parasite
to
others to prop him up because he fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And so they know that that's what's going on. So why would they like put a lot of effort into promoting it when he has to split the money with Beardson?
Yeah.
He'd sooner just do his own show. The only reason he does it is like as a favor to this fucking Hobbit, so the Hobbit doesn't snake him. But it doesn't even matter anyway, because the Hobbit's snaking him anyhow.
What a dumb move that he pulled.
See, this is the thing that's going on, right? It's a closed ecosystem on Cozy. It's a total shithole. The amount of people that are actually on there is shrinking every day. The people who are even coming for Nick Fuentes, right? That number's going down because they can just go to Rumble.
Yeah.
There's no reason to go to Cozy anymore. What? To watch CWC? To watch Claude Felter? Vincent James isn't even streaming regularly.
No, you can't.
The site's fucking down. So it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. The pool of donation, the pool of money, the pool of viewers. So they have to fight over the fucking crumbs in the gutter. Now, that being said, the little crumbs that are left on Cozy are still more than what Ralph's making.
Yeah.
And what's funny is, and it's just so true, all these snake rat fucks who fucked over Fuente and snaked and left and all this shit, they're not fucking making anything.
Yeah.
Fake Alaska, Jaden's the only one. Big Tech, I think, is doing
he left
okay.
Early, though. He left early, though. That's why.
But like fucking Baked Alaska, totally gutter, fucking suffering. Ralph, totally suffering. Shouldn't have bit the hand that fed you, fucking bums. Nick Fuentes was propping you up. He was your...
Let's see, I got a super chat from Shauna. Shauna says, yeah, I've been down a spiritual rabbit hole and I also work nights, so sometimes your streams are on while I'm asleep. Well, that's the way it goes, Shauna, but I do hope you're doing well. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, we're almost done, Reagan. Don't worry about it. The suffering is almost over.
Daddy, a 26-year-old child leader of the race, was your daddy, keeping you relevant, keeping you paid.
But Big Tech's like, he went hard on them, so.
Yeah.
I am a diplomat. I am a visionary. I know how to set up
statement.
He said that 5 times.
He's a diplomat and a visionary.
He says he's the vision of Cozy, by the way, later. I swear to God, Ashton.
See, don't worry, Banjo. Don't worry.
Diplomatic
It's all
relations
good.
has led to
All
them
good.
being snaked. Like CWC, he snaked. Jaden, he snaked. He snaked RPG. He snaked fucking
Ashton.
Big Tech. He snaked everybody that left the site.
So
he snaked Patrick Casey.
It's true. And by the way, I slept, 4 hours to wake up early to edit, right? I swear to God, I thought I was like hallucinating. I'm like, am I listening to this correctly?
He could be a visionary, but he can't even see over the counter at the bottom.
I'm a little salty about it. I love War as the Dad.
Just a little.
You don't say.
Just a little,
You
sir.
don't say. Like,
oh, fuck, buddy.
This is fucking
The
funny.
Salt Mountain's like this fucking high. It's about the same size as the Food Mountain Ralph left for Tug before Tug passed away.
How about you have some fucking impulse control, you fucking...
Okay.
How about Beardson? How
I'm
about
gonna
you
grab a
have
beer.
some
I'm gonna grab a
impulse
beer.
control? Not get drunk as fuck and snake your co-host live and scream the N-bomb 50 fucking times. Have you thought about that, you fucking
Seriously.
retarded hobbit?
Seriously.
I've been nothing but nice to
No,
you.
he hasn't.
Yeah, you've been
They've been
rude.
feuding for years. Like, what fucking delusional fantasy land is Beardson? Like, everybody watching this would know that that's not the case.
It's literally not the
He's
case.
been going after Brittany and fucking Mio from the beginning.
Yeah.
For fucking years. Like, it's like a blood feud between them, but it's also like a fake feud where they like fire it up to try and make nickels in the gutter. So it's just retarded. Look at Beardson's face here, man. He's down bad. He's felt it as fuck.
Accept Jesus Christ. Accept Jesus Christ.
This is Pope Bean's like greatest sermon. Pope Bean's like pounding his fucking chest, like look at his eyes here, man.
Wow. Oh my. Ashton, was I kidding? No, right? Holy. This may be the greatest video to ever come out of Cozy.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm just bad.
All right. So that's that. If you want to watch the other video they have about all of the things that led us to this place, that's available on that channel. And I'm sure that this stream will make its way into several other streams on Cozy where they will all shit talk me on Cozy. And then this stream will make its way into some sort of clip stream somewhere, because apparently that is the ecosystem that I stumbled into for sticking up for Nick Fuentes on Twitter when he was legitimately right. Nancy, I'm an anarcho-capitalist, so I'm not going to take away anything from you. I'm going to let you live your best life. So here's where things are. And I really, like, it is my intention at this point that I'm not going to stream about this anymore. Because this is not something I want to be involved in. It's just really not. Like, I have never set out to be involved with that. And again, if you like that sort of thing, to each their own. You know, you're welcome to like what you like. What I do is very different than that. And I have no desire to be a part of that at all. A lot of people have been saying, you know, you should talk to Nick, you should talk to Nick, you should talk to Nick, you should talk to Nick. I don't think Nick wants to talk to me. Because, listen, like, men are very simple in that if they want to do something, they'll do it. And, you know, there was this banter thing a couple weeks ago that then dragged me through like some sort of streaming incel nightmare that I feel like I'm trying to extricate myself from. And in that time, Nick hasn't said anything to me. It's not that he couldn't have. It's that he hasn't. And so I have to make the assumption that he doesn't want to, which is fine. He's not obligated to. You know, when I first stuck up for him on Twitter, it was not that I was expecting anything in return necessarily. I mean, like, I wouldn't even say necessarily. I wasn't expecting anything to come from it. So I did it because I thought it was the right thing to do. I will always stick up for people when I think they're right, even if they are Nick Fuentes. And I'm very sorry for people who wanted to see us talk, but if he doesn't want to, I can't force him to. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any issue with Nick that I know of. But again, like, I don't know why all this started to begin with. I don't know if he was going to do something evil. I don't know if his community was going to do something evil. I just don't know because I haven't talked to him. And so far as I'm concerned, I don't have an issue with him. I don't blame him for any of this. I don't think I blame him for this. If I find out at some point that he was behind all this, then I will blame him about it. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, but I also think if Nick was really behind it, it probably would have been a lot worse. I think that, like, this is just like a couple of like really not smart people like goofing off, and I just don't want to be involved in it. It was never my intention to get involved in this stuff anyway. I find it to be very distracting. I think that the good thing that's come out of this is we do have some new people who've been joining the streams in terms of like the good gripers who are not being disruptive and not shit posting and not being ridiculous and all that. And so welcome. If you're new, I hope you stick around. I would love to teach you some stuff. Like, you know, my community will welcome you. We'll treat you well. We're not going to pull any of this shit. But if it's your guys' expectation that I'm going to devolve into like that level, I don't see that happening in my future. Now, if you want to watch the full Beardson meltdown, Big Tech actually has it on his channel right now. So if you want to watch it, you can head over to kick.com/Big Tech. And that Beardson meltdown, we watched about 10-15 minutes of it. That lasted for like at least an hour. Like it just kept going and going and going and going and going and going. So it's like we saw a very abbreviated version of the meltdown, but I have to give myself credit for this one. I hadn't done Art of the Trigger in a while. I hadn't been proactively trying to trigger someone in a while. And I'm pretty sure that I succeeded beyond my wildest dreams with this one. I've created some sort of war on Cozy where they're all blocking each other and shit talking each other, and I'm at the epicenter of all of it, and all I did was, you know, banter with Nick Fuentes on Twitter. So let that be a lesson to you about what can happen when you least expect it. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. Thank you for hanging out for a drama stream with me. Now, what I'm going to be doing in about 10 minutes is I have a supporter call with my community. We do community Zooms on Mondays at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at noon. If you want access to the community Zoom, head over to my Substack, carlin.substack.com, link in the description below. And what you want to do is hit up the Unwoke Roundup newsletter. And when you scroll all the way down to the bottom, underneath this red box, you are going to find a Zoom link where you can join us for a chat. We do them for about 3 hours of time on Mondays and Wednesday afternoon. And you can come and join us, talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can ask me questions. We can continue to talk about this if you want. We can talk about other stuff too. But that goes to support the work I'm doing, which is $8 a month, $80 a year, completely funded by you. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go take a little break. I will see my supporters in Community Zoom very soon. Thank you guys for hanging out and, enjoying this. We all enjoyed this together. This was a journey for all of us. We enjoyed it together. All right, guys, take care. Have a good rest of your day.